what do you think our defense's problems were tonight? Like they weren't really a threat in the passing game, but yet they had their will on the ground. What was that about?
Well, I mean, the same things I said is just they don't just poor. They got whipped up front. They got out physical. Notre Dame they brought in extra blockers. Their tight ends did a really good job of and it was just poor tackling in the second level as well. Just not bringing guys down, and every single time you're even when you do make contact, they're still driving forward and getting extra yards and not setting the edge. The ends had a horrible game tonight. Murphy Murphy and KJ both were out of position a lot of times.
Bunch of times tonight.
Yeah, I mean, West got out coached by Tommy Rees tonight.
Yeah, which is sad because when you think about our veteran defensive line, you would think they would have a better outing like that. And I know XT didn't play, and I'll talk about XT a little bit because
I don't think it would have mattered.
I don't think it would have mattered at all. I'm not saying that at all. I have a soft spot for XT. I wanted him to have a great season, and it seems for whatever reason that he cannot get over injuries and setbacks and whatever keeps happening to him. And that's unfortunate because I really wanted him to have a breakout season and kind of solidify his draft stock in the NFL. What do you think he does going forward? I know he doesn't have any eligibility left, so he's got to kind of go to the NFL.
XT?
Yeah.
No, he has another year. It would be because he has the COVID year.
Oh. Well, I thought he was done this year.
I mean, well, that's probably the plan. I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's coming back. I think he.
Well, we didn't think he was coming back this past year, so I thought he was done. But is that because of the COVID year and maybe he could redshirt because he's only played 3 games this year, right? So could this be a redshirt year for him?
Oh well, I don't know about that. I'd have to look at the snap count, but he's got an extra year.
Okay, I didn't know he had.
It does even if he doesn't have to. I don't think he doesn't even have to red shirt on paper. He has the 60. If he wanted, I think he will.
Okay.
I think he came back for. I think he came back for one last season. But at this point, I think he's better off. Just moving on. But I certainly wouldn't complain if he came back for a 6th season. But
look, I would love.
So I
would love for XT to come back another season.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's probably being a selfish Clemson fan. So it is what it is.
But yeah, I don't think Clemson missed him very much tonight. Because one, even if he had played, I don't know how effective. Because I mean, and that's the thing. Because if Clemson had forced Notre Dame to pass it the whole ton and not just 17 times, then you could say, well, man, XT would have been because XT's a phenomenal pass rusher. But I mean,
absolutely.
As far as
we didn't force Notre Dame to pass it at all. I mean, they pretty much ran it at will when they wanted to. So,
right.
Which is really surprising when I think about how the game would have gone if you map the game out on paper, which we all know no game's played on paper, but if you map the game out on paper, Notre Dame, like where's their offense come from, right? Like where are they able to move the ball? if you map it out on paper. They're not, but they did, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, Clemson laid an egg tonight. I don't know what else to say. What do you see? What do you see, Jordan, coming from Clemson for the rest of the season? Do you see them closing out strong or kind of falling apart because no college football playoffs? Like that's out of the picture at this point. They are not going to the college football playoffs. That's for sure. They're going to the ACC championship game. They're not going to the college football playoffs, and they'll play in a probably if they win out, they'll play in a New Year's Six bowl game. But they're not going to the college football playoffs. So, how do you see this team rallying after this kind of this bad loss in Notre Dame?
Well, I mean, I have zero expectations at this point, but because listen, I don't have faith in what what Clemson team is going to show up week to week. I will say I don't think this team is going to I don't think this team is going to like fold or anything. I don't or anything like that. I mean, Clemson. Clemson should have folded after the way they started last season, and they didn't. They were able to rally. So that should have. I mean, there's definitely a possibility that Clemson, really, rebounds from this. They look good their remaining games and heading into the ACC championship game. But I mean, the expectation should be to win out. I mean, you're going to be favored in every game, regardless. You got to pick yourself up off the mat, figure whatever it is that needs to be figured out. There's a lot of questions that are going to have to be answered.
What's wrong with this Clemson team? In your opinion, what's wrong with this Clemson team?
I think it starts with the coaching staff. This coaching staff is not.
Let's air it all out there. Let's just say what we feel. Okay, this is a safe space for Clemson fans. Okay, we got almost 120 people in the live stream right now. Right? Hey, you guys get in there, hit the like button for us, bring some more people in, get your comments in the comment section. Okay, we appreciate you guys coming in. We know that this is one of our most popular live streams because Clemson is coming off of a loss to Notre Dame, which we have no business losing to Notre Dame. With the talent that we have, with the season that we are having, we don't have any business losing to Notre Dame. But with all of that said, what is wrong with Clemson, in your opinion, Jordan? You say coaching staff. So let's talk about it candidly. What's wrong with Clemson football?
Yeah, just this, especially on the offensive side of the ball, just inexperience. They're not. I don't think anybody on that side of the ball is getting the most out of their position groups. I don't think. Obviously, Brandon Streeter is not getting the most he can out of DJ. The running backs, I mean, they can only, if they're not getting the ball and they're not getting the opportunity to run very much, it is what it. I mean, Will Shipley didn't have a horrible night. He had 12 carries for 60, just over 5 yards a carry. So, I mean, it's not like he had an awful night. Right. Clemson was just they just weren't willing to run the ball.
I thought, and going into the game, you could tell me if you disagree with this, but I thought it would be a story of the running backs. I thought it would be a Will Shipley and Phil Maffa game. Did you think it would be that going into the game?
I thought I thought it was going to be a balanced approach. I thought we were going to see a healthy dose of those two. I didn't think Clemson was just going to just run it over and over and over and over again.
I
didn't expect that to happen,
I heard coming into the game that the weather wasn't great, right? There was a lot of wind. So I figured if there's a ton of wind, you're coming off a game where you turn the ball over 4 times against Syracuse, right? DJ doesn't exactly come in with the most confidence. I figured you would lean on the running game early and then set up the pass later in the game. That's kind of how I saw the game going. So that's why I said it would be a heavy dose of Phil Maffa and Will Shipley game early on, and then maybe set up to, maybe some play action or some passing game later.
yeah.
That's kind of how I saw it going. But clearly that was not the case.